All right, and then Jesus says this in verse 27 of chapter 5 of Matthew. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I tell you that everyone who gazes at a woman to lust after her has committed adultery with her already in his heart. So again, Jesus is just making things internal. So it said previously, it's not bad alone just to murder. It's also bad to hate somebody without just cause. And it's saying here, it's not just an outward thing. God is not happy just because people don't commit adultery. He's not happy when you've got people, and he's talking about men here, and I'm sure it applies to women too, lusting after someone who's not their spouse. And so this is bad. And this is so good for us because it just tells us that God just doesn't want us to control our actions. He wants us to control our thoughts too, and he wants to change us at the core. And you're going to see this play out in Matthew and in the Gospels, that Jesus came to fix us from the inside out and not the outside in, which is what religion does. So this is very good. And anytime God tells us to do something, he gives us the ability to do it. And so when God tells us that we shouldn't lust after women, he gives us the ability to do so. And what I think really happens is God fills us with love for people. And when you love a woman, when you love people, but when you love women who are not your spouse in a very selfless way, like agape love, then you're not just seeing them as someone to satisfy your sexual desires, but you care for them. You hope they're okay. You hope they know their maker, and you see them in the right point of view. And it's disgusting to see how so many women are portrayed in the world, many times against their will. There's human trafficking and things like that, but that so many times women are just seen as eye candy, as someone to look at, and that's certainly wrong. To look at this wonderful creature that is made in God's image and just see them as a sex object. So verse 29, if your right eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out, wow, and throw it away from you, for it is more profitable for you that one of your members should perish than for your whole body to be cast into Gehenna or hell. If your right eye causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away from you, for it is more profitable for you that one of your members should perish than for your whole body to be cast into eternal hell or Gehenna. And I wrote in my commentary, many people will not make Jesus the Lord of their lives because they are afraid of losing something. There is no comparison between the small amount of pain they would feel now and the eternal pain of hell. So in other words, nobody in the New Testament, by the way, pluck their eye out or cut off a body part to please God, right? But it was a drastic point that Jesus was making, that you've got to be willing to get sin out of your life. If there's something causing you to stumble, get rid of it. For some people, it's not having access to the internet, and that's crazy for some to think about not having that, but it causes some people to stumble. And we all have our different things. For some people, they can't go into bars, and you've got to be willing to do that because it causes you to stumble. But a lot of people, they don't want to lose their life, and it's keeping them from Jesus, and they're going to go to hell for it. And so, for some people, they know that giving them their lives to Christ is going to make them lose a relationship with a family member or a friend or someone they're dating, but it's worth it. And I know this is a drastic point, but you've got to realize that the worst thing that can happen to you is hell. To be in a place where you no longer get God's grace and mercy and provision. You just have pain all the time. It's a place where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You don't want to go there, so do whatever it takes to not go there. And to not go there, you just have to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And many people have a hard time with this lordship. They don't want to give up control of their own life, but you've got to be willing to do that. So whatever it is that causes you to sin, whatever it is that keeps you from coming to Jesus, and once you've come to Jesus, whatever it is that keeps you from maturing as a Christian, getting over something that you really struggle with, be willing to cut some things off in your life to get past that. If you struggle with pornography, cut off your phone, cut off the internet. If you struggle with alcohol or online shopping, or we all have different things, and we all have our different addictions. Some people struggle with homosexuality. Whatever your addiction is, find some way to restrict yourself and cut it off, so that you don't continue to live in sin. And certainly, whatever it is you don't want to give up to give yourself to Christ, give it up, because it's not worth it, whatever it is. to send yourself to hell.